folks, let's take a look at this and see what we got going on here. Now, if you hadn't quite peeped it out, Bank of America got a little evening star reversal here showing up, and we had a nice push up, 3-4 bars up, and then we got a nice big tail selling off here. It'd been nice if that had been like a hammer or something, or maybe in a shorter doji indecision. But that definitely looks like an indecision bar. It definitely looks like a evening star reversal, and we can even take a look at this bad boy right here. Where we at? All right, we got our evening star reversal pattern there. So that's kind of how we look. This one here is more like the one we got going right here. This evening star pattern. You look here, pushing up, pulling back, nice tail on it, indecision bar, and then the sell-off. Not as smooth as that, but when is it ever really? You know, it always looks a little bit goofy when we look at it. When we're looking at it on the chart, but that's our evening star pattern that we got, and I think we're on the right track with that trade with BofA, because we see that coming in here. We see it pushed up the way it's supposed to. Now we see we got the selling off coming in. So if this thing continues to sell off, we're looking for some support at around 52.88. If that doesn't hold, then we're going to come back down into here somewhere. We're going to get that line out of there because we're not really sure what that line is all about. If that doesn't work, then down here, look out below. So $48 is a nice little short if you decide to run a short, or if you're in the trade long and you don't want to sell your position, you can always put a protective hedge on it and get you one of those buy a put for it to protect it, and your protective put, so that way when you're when it's selling off, you can continue to maintain your trade and make money on the way down as well, as, while you're waiting for it to go back up. Oops, let me do that. Okay, so we got our evening star there. Now we got these 8 SMA and the 13 SMA. We got the 20 SMA coming up underneath too. So sometimes these things act as some support. So this descent, when it comes in, if it doesn't come in hard, it may hit this thing and kind of slow down a little bit. You might even get a little bit of a bounce and then a sell off. Then it doesn't look as much as a reversal, but that doesn't really change the life or what it actually is, because or what it is to become. It would have been nice if we had a bar like that one there when this one did this reversal here. That was a nice bar that they put in for that sell. Here we got a nice small one, so it kind of makes you a little bit like, I don't know if this thing is really what it's cracked up to be, but it definitely looks like we're coming into a sell on this particular trade. Now if we go down to the lower time frames, looking at the 2-minute chart, it looks like we're continuing to head lower, and that'll put us at about 54.69. Oops, cancel that. Get back to what we were. Alright, so we draw a line there and go back and look. Maybe that's what I had that line down there for. Let's go see. Nope, it's right there. But anyway, as you can see, we're just about closing. We're in this area, so we'll see come Wednesday. If we continue this push downward, then we know that we definitely have that something coming in. But if it continues to be these little bars like this, then I might be a little bit leery of it being an actual reversal, just because it's nicer when they have these nice strong bars and you have more confidence in the sell. When it's when it trickles down like this, it's not very confident building when you're trying to go short on the stock. You almost feel like it's going to reverse on you at any time. If we can get a nice big sell bar in there, that'd be great. That'd be great. That would give us a lot more confidence in that being an evening star reversal. And then looking at the Um, One of the heavyweights, Apple. You know, we have Apple looks like it wants to try to start selling off, like it's starting to roll over, and then you know, and then also the Dow right now, and the Dow is heavily weighted on Apple too, and then you got the Dow here, which actually put in it put in a similar type reversal signal too. If this bar was green, that would be probably better because then it would look more like an evening star reversal. But you know, two red bars. Do we have two red bars in our picture frame over there? Let's see. No, it's usually a green bar and then a red. Looks like green and red, green and red, green and red, green and red. Even a short red was, but it was green and red. So you know, two reds might not be a sign of an evening star, but it definitely is a sign of some weakness going on up here. Um, you know, and I mean, you might want to consider that green too, though. Even though it's red, that bar pushing up, that green bar, red bar there is still within that green one. So you could probably consider that being green, but that, you know, and now you're playing with you know, trying to make it work. So we'll see what happens as this thing plays out. But we definitely got some weakness in Apple. We definitely got some weakness in the Dow. And Bank of America is showing some weakness as well. And that's the one we're thinking about trading with this evening star reversal that has reared its ugly head on the Bank of America chart. All right, so that's all I got for now. Of course, you know, you got to play it lightly because it is in an uptrending market. It is above the 200, above the 150, above the 20, above the 8 and 13 SMAs. So it's definitely in the positive territory, but it's actually showing like it wants to, you know, start to turn the ship around and head back the other way. So we'll see how it plays out. So if you do decide to play it, you know, remember to always put in your protective stop up above, and look out below. All right, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you go to YouTube and you visit my channel at YouTube at Big Blast Marketing. All right, make sure you like and subscribe. But thanks for being here. Thanks for being a member, and I'm going to try to continue to give you some good stuff that you can use and help you along your way. All right. Thanks. Bye now.